all that out. I gotta go pause the stream. Everything's like breaking on me here, but all right, here we are. Game number 3 in this best of 9 between yoeflashWolves and Complexity Dignitas. Now, again, you see no score in game because it's a best of 1 between each of these players. One person gets knocked out, and of course, the other one gets points for their team. Currently down at the moment, though, spawning in the lower left. Can he bring it back for his team? If there's one man I really put faith in to do so, it's going to be Dignitas' Tefel. This guy is the Korean killer as far as Poland is concerned, guys. If you haven't seen Tefel play, okay, he's known for his rage. Okay, he's known for his temper. But he's also known for how good he is in StarCraft 2. So we'll see how he does. Can he bring it back? His opponent in the top left, on a bit of a tear so far, leading 2-0 at the moment, yoeflashWolves presents the red Protoss player, Haas. And did they update their team decal for like Haas's photo or something? While this is going on, I actually have no idea. We were talking a little bit a while too. Like Golden's got a photo of himself smiling, and I thought it'd be hilarious where if like between games in the best of series, like you start off smiling, and then if you lose, you change the decal to be like you with a sad face, and if you win afterwards, you're like super happy. I would love to see someone actually execute that sometime, but at any rate, Tefel is hopefully going to make the comeback. I don't actually know if he will or not. Again, he's taken on a lot of Korean players in the past. He has to deal with Koreans regularly in Europe, and he's one of the more talented Zerg players I've had the pleasure of casting before. That being said, it's not like it's an easy win, even if he does manage to get it. And looks like actually Haas is open with a forge here, might do some shenanigans. This cliff, of course, has been a bit of a problem. You do double pylons and a cannon behind it. We'll see if that ends up being the case or not. Tefel will see the probe coming to the base, and Haas is going to see that it's pool first before hatcheries. So is he still going to go for it? Wow, he's still going to go for it. Bold move. So what ends up happening beyond this, you grab a second probe. You want to have it come across the map after this because you're going to be walled in. You get a cannon here, and the pylons will actually supply cover for the cannon on the low ground. Because Tefel pulled enough drones early on, he may be able to break through this before it's too much danger. So you'll notice Haas, instead of putting the cannon in the middle like you normally would, ends up putting a pylon and it pushes the probe through. So now he's got 2 probes. That was really cool. That was super cool. He might actually kill a drone here. Oh, he might actually kill a drone here.
First blood.
First blood. Well, okay, so that's pretty cool. As far as the cannons go, this might just get shut down here with the Lings already out and so many drones have been pulled. The damage is here to stop the pylons before they finish up. Hopefully. I say with a big question mark. Yeah, cannon is going to go down here. So not a lot actually gets done, and Haas is shut down from this. Now, what's unfortunate is he had to dedicate a lot to this, right? Yeah, first blood, yeah, you guys in chat are awesome. Unfortunately, because he dedicated a lot of resources to this delays his Nexus. But he still essentially goes for a Forge Fast Expanded Home. Tefel's already got Zerglings out, though. He's got to get a cannon down right now. If he delays this for too much longer, the Zerglings will get over here before it finishes. 4 Zerglings are going to run across the map, and I think with the way the cannon times out after building it like this, I think it's 3 should be able to get by if he runs towards the main. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get all 4, but Haas can also fully wall this off if he wants. Is that a full wall off? I don't think that is, right? Oh, that... hang on. No, it's not. Okay. Had to do a double take there. The grid looked really weird. But okay, so the follow-up to this for Tefel, he can't quite all in, and he wasn't planning to anyways. So he's got some Zerglings, or some drones being built behind this. He's got Queens macroing up, he sees the cannon, he knows he can't do a lot. So what he'll do is just kind of sit around the base. Now, I don't know if he actively knows that both probes got into the base, but if he does, then he knows that there's not going to be anything on the map. But as long as he leaves Zerglings positioned here and here, he'll be able to see anything that leaves the base. He'll be able to track probes, so he'll be able to keep proxy pylons from going down. And this is a situation where Tefel should have map control, at least for the mid-game, to say the very least. But a 3rd hatchery on the way, so in due time, he'll be able to get some economy rolling here. Decides to put the Lings back, though. I don't know if I love that choice or not. In doing so, he's actually given up and yielded a lot of control here by seeing the map like this. Haas, by the way, is currently leading 2-0 for anyone who's just tuned in. Sorry, I don't have score in-game. I do want to reiterate, though, that it is 2-0 in the favor of yoeflashWolves, and Haas has got both of those points. Hoping to make it a 3-0, though, maybe over Tefel. It's not going to be easy, though. Like I said, Tefel is the Korean killer. And I do ask one more time, guys, because we're doing the rebroadcast of this live from replays, I didn't see any of these when they actually were played out. I haven't seen the outcome of this. Do not spoil it. If you start putting spoilers in chat, anyone with a sword next to their name, you have full right to ban those people. Because we want to keep this fresh and fine. I know some of you guys already have seen this, and some of you already know the outcome of it. But for me, it's fresh, and I don't want you to ruin it for me or the other viewers. So that's my humble request to those of you who are already knowing what's going to be happening today. For the rest of you, just sit back and enjoy. Tefel's going to have to deal with a Stargate coming his way here. Oracle, I say with a question mark? It's hard to call, because the situation that Haas is in, I would like to see Phoenixes, but I think Oracle's going to be the opener, and maybe a follow-up into the Phoenixes, if anything. But a Stargate's an odd tech choice, in my opinion, after a failed cannon rush. It's not a bad tech choice, mind you, but you're kind of limited on what you can do. As far as aggressive potential, he's actually going to throw in a second one, so it's going to be Phoenixes. Oh, wow. He did this earlier versus Select, of course. I really like Phoenixes. I do a lot. I mean, there was a time where you're like, okay, it's that standard dance in ZVP. One player goes Phoenixes, the other goes Hydralisks, and we've seen how it goes back and forth over and over. But by going for Phoenixes in double Stargate production, he's going to be able to overwhelm Tefel. And this is where it gets really scary, because Phoenixes are not easily dealt with. Not with Queens, and not even with Hydralisks. Sometimes, if there's enough of them, you can pick up an entire army. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we've cast actually some games recently on the channel to go over StarCraft with Monty. If you guys, some of you remember what I'm talking about, where he went like in excess of like 20 Phoenixes. And I can't remember who he was playing against, but Hydralisks were coming out. They were just dying too fast to do anything. So we do have some Spore Crawlers coming down. Now, I don't believe Tefel, I don't think he's seen, no, he's not seen anything in the main, so he has no idea that's double Phoenixes, much less double Stargates. Again, seeing the Phoenixes themselves is not that big of a deal, but seeing that there's 2 Stargates producing them really is. Because that's the difference of a mild amount of Phoenixes, you know, usually 5, right? If you watch pro matches, you'll see 3, you'll see 5, usually no more, no less. But because he's going to be getting so many, this could be dangerous for Tefel. Now, what's advantageous for Tefel, mind you guys, Roaches don't die quickly to Phoenixes, even if they're Graviton beamed up. Neither do Zerglings, because if you get enough of them, you don't have enough Graviton beam energy to actually pick every single one of them up. So if he sees that there's a lot of Phoenixes, Tefel's response may just be to do a huge Roachling all-in. Granted, Phoenixes, or sorry, Hydralisks are on the way, and you're going to want some, of course. They're really good for damage, just generically. But Hydralisks are weak to Phoenixes. They're light units. They go down very fast. It only takes 1 volley to kill a Hydralisk if you have 5 Phoenixes out. Tearing down the rocks for now. He hasn't seen this pylon either, so Haas has got this sort of sneak attack set up. I like this. He'll put the pressure here towards the 3rd. He'll make Tefel focus all of his energy northwards, and probably walk in with the Zealots to the natural base. Overload looks like it's going to be picked off here too, but it's such a lacking amount of anti-air right now. One Phoenix getting really low, but still doesn't die. In the meantime, Overlord gets sniped off over here. More Phoenixes being revealed. If Tefel's counting, he'll know there's 8. But of course, we know with our God Mode Observer Eye View that there's going to be more than 8. There's 10. He's investing in weapons underneath this. Charge lots are a great follow-up to this, because the one thing that's really going to stop your Hydralisk, and if you get a lot of charge lot, Hydralisks are kind of a joke to deal with. But there's enough of them here for now to drive these back. They don't have the energy to Graviton Beam every single one of them, and that's what really limits the potential of Phoenixes. These would be the most God Mode broken units in the game if Graviton Beam did not cost energy. But because it does, it limits the damage, and we see Haas having to dip in and dip out. But Roaches across the map and only Zealots to defend. I don't know if this is going to cut it. And this is kind of what I was talking about, where Roaches can get a lot of damage done. The Phoenixes lift them up, but look how long it takes to kill them once they're lifted up. Phoenixes just simply don't have the damage for Roaches. Roaches are so strong in that regard. And there's enough of them here to really bust through. The cannon goes down, there's Hydralisks coming up behind this, force fields have already been burned, and the Phoenixes are pretty much tapped for energy. They'll be able to start picking up some Hydralisks, sure, but it'll be one at a time, and all just barely. Tefel's attack's looking really strong, and he is going to be relentless with this. And this is the Tefel I know. This is the Tefel I've seen in the past. Just charging in forward, saying, I don't care if you're a Korean foreigner. You went for this really dumb opening. I'm going to try and punish you for it. So the wall's going to be completely torn down. I think he should be able to clean this up. But the Void Rays especially, the Roaches are less and less of a threat. The Hydralisks are pretty much gone at this point, and Tefel's either going to fall back or go all in. It looks like he's going to try and fall back a little bit off of this, but again, when Phoenixes are giving pursuits, it's kind of hard to fall back. But Roach Hydra is Tefel's comfort zone. There's no player in Europe, in my opinion, that can comfortably play with Roach Hydra as well as Tefel does, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to auto-win this game. His army was wiped, he's had to fall back, and he doesn't have a lot of upgrades going for him either. He's got +1 armor, but that's it. There's no ranged upgrades, there's no muscular augments. These Hydras are pretty much naked, bare bones as it gets. And he's taking a bit of damage in his mineral line. Not a lot of drones have gone down, mind you, but enough have been gone down to make this problematic. Zealous playing Ring Around the Rosie here as their attack rallied a little bit. confused as to what they were doing there for a sec. Phoenix is hovering over the Spore Crawler, not going to get a lot done, but Tefel's regrouped his forces, guys. He's moving Queens out with this, too. There's a lot of Hydralisks, there's a lot of Roaches. And if there's one thing that does well against Phoenixes, and if there's one thing that does even better against Void Rays, it's Queens on the front line. It sounds so silly to say that, but it's the truth, folks. Now, we do have a lot of Graviton Beams going up, kind of crowd-controlling the Hydralisks instead of killing them. This is going to cost the Phoenixes their lives, actually. With the Phoenixes going down, there's not a lot of cover for the Void Rays. And like I said, let's not forget, the Hydralisk dying is kind of whatever, because the Queens are coming to follow this up. Transfuses, range, bonus, psionic, everything about a Queen is a counter to a Void Ray. Backing up out of this, does transfuse one of the Hydralisks to actually keep them alive. The Roaches are going to fall, but Tefel just has to rally across the map. 7 more Hydralisks, 12 Lings coming out too. Couple Void Rays even being caught off guard, away from the pack, so to speak. Void Rays can trade out with Hydralisks. It's a stupid fact of the game, but they work versus Hydralisks despite no bonus damage. If there's enough of them, and there is enough of them, but not with the Queens here. He could transfuse against a Void Ray endlessly. And looks like he's going to try and do just that. Is the one Queen in the air going to take that first transfuse, second transfuse, third, no third transfuse, but still probes have been pulled into this. Haas knows this is desperate. If he can hold this, he'll be in a good spot, but that's a big if. Tefel's got a lot of Hydralisks still. Queen falling backwards, and the Void Rays are pretty much gone. The Phoenixes have dwindled. The Mothership Core falls. No overcharge available. The Nexus gonna go down. Good game is called. yoeflashWolves Haas taken out by Dignitas Tefel. Hua. Now, of course, I want to correct myself here, or correct you guys. I saw someone bringing up in chat, but I don't want to bring up in the cast. Like, I know Haas isn't Korean, but I'm saying if Tefel can take out Koreans, he can certainly take out Chinese, he can take out Europeans, he can take out North Americans. I'm not surprised that he won that game, and he played that out really well. So that will turn it around, actually, and put Dignitas Complexity on here now, 2-1, making their mark on the map.